Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Good afternoon, Mr. Tito. We are from the last group. We want to present our presentation today about review. I am Siti Ramyatul Aziza.
I am Sinta Noblavia.
And I am Bang Maria.
And I am Spatria Niranto.
So, let's take it at our presentation.
In this test meeting, we are expected to able to first the listening skills required for long conversation. There are so many intermediate academy English. 251 skills you need to well master in order to able competent in long conversation. And the long talks, the skills are anticipating and determining the topics, answering in order, and making contribution about the people, place, time, etc. while listening to either conversation or talks. After well understanding the skill in a long conversation and long talk, the student can test, compare, and relate every question in the conversation and talk. In this long conversation are just like a short conversation. There are two speakers discussing one or more topics and narrator stating the question. However, the talk longer each other still don't have anything written when the conversation is in progress. There are two conversations in long conversation. The topics can be about the life in school or the class, how is complete a research paper, how to register of a course. However, they can also be about American-related topics such as reducing the use products damaged because of storm of other natural disaster. Next, to able to correctly answer the question in long conversation, first, scan the answer choice before listening the question. Second, give more focus to the beginning of the conversation. Third, while you are listening to the long conversation, try to carefully listen and keep in your mind about who, what, where, when, why, and how. Fourth, while you are listening to the long conversation, look carefully the choice and pick the best answer. And fifth, even though you are not sure for your answer, do not leave the answer blank. Wrong answer is score 0. After that, we talk about the long talks. Long talks is different from both of short conversation and long conversation. In long talk, there is only one person speaking. To second this monologue, there are 3 long talks in the last part of the listening. Each of them consists of 4 questions, and every question that has answer choice. Before doing the long talks, there are some important and useful strategy we need to know. These strategies are more or less of the strategies we use for long conversation. First, scan the answer choice before listening to the question. Second, focus the beginning of talk. Third, as you are listening to the long talk, try to well remember about things, place, times, reason, method, and other significant topics discussed in the talk. Fourth, as you are listening to the long talk, look carefully the choice and pick the best answer. Fifth, wrong answer, do not reduce your score. Therefore, never leave your answer straight back. I think that's enough from me about the listening skills for the long talks and the short talks.
Okay, and the next topic is on structure and written expression study. Written expression is the second part of TOEFL in the session of structure and written expression. This part highlights participant understanding of grammar in English. In order to give a correct answer, there are many grammatical topics discussed in intermediate academic English. Sentences with two clauses are frequently discussed here. When learning sentences with two clauses, it is also important to understand the tenses, modals, comparison, and etc. And in the structure and written expressions material, it has the first one is introduction to multiple clause. As it has discussed in the previous meeting, this meeting we are still we are focusing on multiple clause sentence. To review, to construct a sentence, there must be one subject and one verb. If there are more than one subject and or one verb, the use of conjunction are needed. Let us take a look at this example. And the second is multiple clause sentence. A multiple clause sentence consists of a main clause and one and or more subordinate clauses. A main clause is also known as independent clause. Meanwhile, a subordinate clause is usually known as dependent clause. And the third is noun clause. As having learned about multiple clause sentence in this part, noun clause becomes another concern in this meeting. Noun clause itself is a noun but in a longer form, so its function remains the same to noun to construct a noun clause. As other types of clauses, a subordinate conjunction is needed. A noun clause should not be in a question structure, even the sentence includes question words. Okay. And next, the skill study on reading. Reading comprehension is an active thinking process where a reader forms a deep understanding related to the concept and information contained in the text. Reading is one of the English skills which is included in some English comprehension tests. In reading comprehension, it is possible for you to be asked where a piece of information in the text is found. It means you are asked to find where specific information in the text is located. The second thing that you need to do answer this type of question is understanding where to find the answer. You should notice that the answer can be in any lines listed in the answer choice. The reading will point out the skill to find out meaning of vocabulary, the pronoun reference, and translation question. To well perform the skill, the students are also required to well establish the skill discussed in basic academic English.
In the reading comprehension, there are types of the questions. The first is about vocabulary questions. In this type, we divide it to become two types again. The first is, what does this word mean? In this type, you have to understand the context first, which contained in the passage. Then insert each answer. For example, the word merely is closest meaning into. So you can choose the closest meaning to the merely. It's A, B, C, or D. There are 4 choices, so you have to choose one of them. And the second type is, what does this word refer to? In this type, you have to read the relevant part of the passage. Then have a look at each answer and ask yourself, if this word refers to that word, does this make sense? The main point, you must be careful to answer every question in reading comprehension, especially in TOEFL. For example, I called my friend. that have a rose. The word that is in the passage refer to that's about the question. So you have to pay attention about that. That is referred to my friend, I, she, or he. So you can choose one of them as well. And the last type is detailed questions, or we call it, in this case, it's about the key of the fact. So sometimes it signed with in line 2. How about in line 2? There are some questions like that. So the sign of this questions is in the line 9, 1 or 2. And then the strategies for this type are: the first, you have to understand the meaning of every answer. Second, you have to search for the detailed information about the passage. If the questions is only we have to for in the line 9, so you have to search for the detailed information in the passage or the text. But be careful. Sometimes if you think that's the incorrect answer, on the other hand, that contains the same meaning of the text. Even though you can find the same word in the text, but that's not automatically means that the correct answer. So you need to pay attention for answering the detailed questions. For example, last time I said maybe the question is like in the line 9. And sometimes the question is according to the passage A is, according to the passage B is. So you have to know the detailed information in the passage first, then you can answer about that. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for your nice attention. Dan as we say,
Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi